Welcome to Listen by Gene Ginsberg. This audio experience and podcast is all about social media, digital marketing, entrepreneurship, and interviews with top entrepreneurs in the digital and social space. I am your host, Gene Ginsberg, digital marketing expert, #1 best-selling author, and award-winning entrepreneur. I will be sharing with you strategies, tips, and tactics on how to grow your business and your social media following. Thanks for listening. Hey everyone, Gene Ginsberg here. As always, welcome to another episode of Listen by Gene Ginsberg. And very special guest today. Very excited to start the conversation with Arjun Rai. How are you?
I am doing fabulous, and I was as you were speaking for viewers who are listening in. There's a cute dog behind you, and my dog is actually our mascot. It's a Snoopy, and it's a Maltese. So we believe our whole theme is supporting underdogs for the small business of the world. And so I'm like the squirrel, like, oh, shiny thing.
Yes, I have two dogs actually. One's probably on the couch behind me, and then one's milling around and eating socks right now. So he loves doing that.
So cute. Yeah, I'm glad to see mine in a couple of minutes. An hour or two, actually. My dad's going hiking with my dog.
Oh, nice. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for being here. This is fantastic. And sure. First question that I like to ask our guests is, just to give our audiences some context, tell us about your background.
Yeah, so I've been an entrepreneur as early as I can remember. A few years old, I was selling something or the other, and it drove my parents insane, or my mom specifically. Why the heck I was selling, garlands, flowers and furniture that we were throwing out, because we were moving from one state to another. Actually, Colorado, speaking of which, I was in Denver, and we were moving out of a third floor apartment, and I put a giant sign over the side saying everything must go 25 cents. So I think I said 25 cents by itself, because I was very fascinated with quarters. And so I've always been an entrepreneur, and I realized as small business owners coming to what we're doing today, we really do need help when it comes to marketing in general, digital marketing. And traditionally that has meant, anything based on the internet. So that's social media, copywriting, content, blogging, things like that, or out of home is even older, radio and things like that. We could use a lot of help. So after doing several startups, legit startups, more than just selling things out of my house, I realized that small businesses really need something to be, it needs to be automated. So long story short, we ended up launching Hello Woofy a couple of years ago. We relaunched Hello Woofy about a year and a half ago. We grew 21,000% last year, helping small businesses with social automation. So it automatically creates the content for you, optimizes it for the perfect emojis and hashtags, and finds royalty-free images as well. But then we realized that, boy, small businesses, they need to get their act together when it comes to blogging, being able to create long-form content, keyword optimized, so that search engines, where people are searching for you and they're obviously not leaving their homes as much as they used to, they can find you and know that you exist. But more than that, we then realized that all of these devices, the smart speakers of the world, this is a Fire TV, there's another Fire TV running in the background, or any Alexa device for that matter. All of these devices were growing like crazy. And guess who was winning? The Netflixes, the Hulus, the YouTubes of the world. And those are great companies. I mean, they have their own founder stories as well. But what about the coffee shop down the block? What about a podcast owner like you, right? Why couldn't you broadcast just like with the same quality and access like a Netflix? So we started working with Amazon very closely about a year and a half ago, to build the world's first smart speaker scheduler. So kind of like a social media scheduler, except you're scheduling with e-commerce capabilities, links, attribution, video clips, audio clips, directly to your customer's living room, so long as they opt in and download the app or skill. So that's kind of what we do. And we've grown pretty fast, and we're very proud of, having our investors also customers, because through equity crowdfunding, anyone could have invested as low as $100 in our previous campaigns, and we're getting ready to launch another campaign very soon. So we eat our own dog food.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about what that entails. It sounds like it's like an AI platform for creating social media content. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, absolutely.
So how does that work?
So you can, as soon as you start typing, we like to say it auto magically starts completing the sentences for you. And you can see examples on hellowoofy.com of how that works. We've actually filed patents around the technology. We've also filed patents around the smart speaker technology and whatnot. And it's essentially to help you create content based on hundreds of millions of pieces of content that we know have worked, or we've mapped the entire relationship between a word and a hashtag and an emoji to a word back to a hashtag. One of the things that came out of a report at Adobe, which we know is a multi-billion-dollar company, is that emojis drive 50, 60, 70% uplift in engagement and purchase intent. So we were like, okay, emojis are the modern hieroglyphics. Is there any technology telling you which ones to use based on context and on the fly? And the answer was no. And so we ended up building that technology, and we give all of these enterprise capabilities, we like to say smart technology, to small businesses for the price of a cup of coffee.
Wow. Okay. So it's and it's working, or it works on all social media platforms like LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter and everything. Okay.
Yeah, actually, while we were speaking, I just saw a post go out to all my channels as we're getting ready to launch another equity crowdfund. And so it fired it off in my Facebook group. It fired it off on our smart speaker app skill as well. So that's the point. It's a one-stop shop for all of your digital marketing marketing needs.
So it's like a Hootsuite on steroids.
It's funny you mentioned that. If you see my T-shirt, I know Ryan was the founder, and it says works with Hootsuite because we're the only co-creating partner / competitor that they've integrated with. So yeah, it's that on steroids, and we love working with their customers as well.
Awesome. And then the other one is the smart speaker. So is this like audio content that can be then syndicated or just streamed in some sort of audio type of platform, or on an Alexa? Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's the idea, is that we only work with Amazon right now, so Fire TVs, Echo Shows, Echo Dots, and all the smart speakers themselves. And so it's able to create, you can create your own skill or an app. They're two different versions of there are two different kinds of software. We can get into the details later, but the point is, at the end of the day, under your name, with your background, with your whole branding, you can effectively create an app or skill and then start broadcasting. Now, where the vision is to essentially build a QVC or a home shopping network, so that you can broadcast to your customers that will buy from you. They want to listen from you, listen to you about your leadership, thought leadership content. And then you could be like, hey, if you want to learn more, click on the link on your TV, or tap on the link if you have a touchscreen version, and you can just go to your masterclass, sign up, buy, convert. You can even hold up your phone and make a phone call. You could be like, hey, give me a quick call if you want to buy exactly what we're talking about. Limited time offer. You can literally hold up your phone. We have some prototypes in social media that we've been talking about. You could just make a phone call or just email. You don't have to do anything. Your customers just have to. It's like Billy Mays coming on your TV and saying, oh, I like what Billy is showing me. One scan and you're ready to buy. That's a capability we're giving small businesses.
So it's not just audio; it's also
e-commerce.
E-commerce. Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha. And how does that play into like Alexa flash briefings? Because that's something that was a thing, and I don't even know if that's still a thing anymore.
Yeah, in our case, so that's another. So those are essentially creating briefings for you. So it's not that you have to be a giant company in order to be able to schedule briefings. You just have to be a person, a business owner, to be able to schedule those briefings, and then you're good to go.
Gotcha.
So we've really democratized the ability to have that capability, but now for everyone, because that's our goal.
Yep. Right. Awesome. And so what kind of businesses then do you typically work with?
It's a great question. So we definitely skew towards women-led businesses. 60-70% are women who are e-commerce store owners, coaches, podcasters, social media agency founders. And so we're actually now working on finding new ways to find incredible women who are running their own businesses, because Facebook advertising is great. We're now expanding to Pinterest. We're doing podcasting. We're doing referral marketing, affiliate marketing as well. A lot of our customers continue referring their business owner friends as well. So yeah, and people who are literally the underdogs and looking to beat the, beep out of their competitors with unlimited marketing budgets is who we're going after.
Okay. Well, if anybody's listening here who is a woman or I mean, I guess that anybody, right? But it sounds like you're
Yeah.
mostly working with women-owned businesses, so absolutely reach out. And how did this all come about? Like, what was the catalyst for creating, I guess, either or both of these businesses?
Yeah, so it's one business, one entity, but the
Okay.
idea was really to help small businesses, really take back the control because when you're a coffee shop owner, you don't have a degree or a PhD. I mean, some of these tools that we're competing with, they look like they're designed for, PhD students in marketing.
Right.
They know how to make the perfect cup of coffee and make their customers delighted. The accountant knows exactly how to fix your financial balance sheet equations. They don't know how to market themselves as well as an agency, a big agency. So we said there has to be a way to democratize that, and so we built cutting edge technology. We filed patents around it, and we gave it away for $5, $7. I mean, the prices are so ridiculously low that a lot of now our small businesses have a fighting chance to compete with people who aren't as talented, but they just have bigger budgets.
Right.
And so we took that motto and we baked it into building the biggest company, helping the smallest. And we said, why don't we give them shares in the company? So we did equity crowdfunding, and we do equity crowdfunding every year to allow anyone to invest in the company. And so we really are eating our own dog food. I mean, the theme of the company is, dogs, your underdog, being an underdog, working with your, best friend, your dog. And we just love dogs as well.
Right, right. Okay. So you mentioned that you relaunched this about a year and a half ago, which kind of
Yeah,
coincides with when the pandemic started. Was there a
correct.
catalyst part of the pandemic started and you decided to relaunch it? Was there like,
Yeah.
can you tell me some of the changes that were going on at that time? Because obviously there's been a lot of changes, but was there a play into that as well?
Yeah, exactly. And we we relaunched the company after me putting down 120K, about 120K in credit cards, 50K in cash, to save my company, our startup, our humble little startup. And any business owner can really relate to being in that position, and the emotional turmoil that you go into, and you can really figure out if a person is doing it for the money or they're on a mission to do something big,
Right.
bigger than themselves. So December 2019, around there, we end up launching the company after rebuilding everything, restarting everything, and we had no idea what was coming at us. They were like, I think I may have heard this thing, Corona happening in China, but none of it really hit us until probably February or March of that year. And by that time, we had done $60,000 probably, or $50,000 in revenue, working with AppSumo as our channel partner. And then we went on and we started working on our own and started doing our own marketing funnels and driving customers in. We quickly realized as the pandemic was approaching that we were actually growing faster than ever before because people needed to find alternative ways of driving traffic to their stores, or virtual stores in this case. And so we grew 21,000% last year. We went from 10 people to we have over 10,000 registered users now. And it was incredible growth, but we had to raise capital to keep up with it. So our customers pitched in. We have over 2,500 investors who've invested $100, $200. One customer put in $30,000, $10,000, $15,000. So we were very grateful for their investment, and our whole mission is to build as big of a company as possible to help the smallest.
Right. So what are some of the initiatives that you guys are working on? I mean, it sounds like, yes, this is now, but then what's in the pipeline, or
Well,
what's in
audio is
the
huge. I mean, Clubhouse really proved it. We're huge on Clubhouse, both as a driver for investment and revenue. And we know that audio is becoming bigger than ever before. Streaming, smart speakers. Mark Cuban calls it ambient voice. He literally came out I saw it on TikTok a couple of days ago, that he was saying if you were running a business today, especially during a time of pandemic, ambient voice is the future because people are looking to converse, but have e-commerce transactions done without actually touching or having that tactile approach. And so we're working on that heavily now. We're as we mentioned earlier, we're baking e-commerce capabilities into smart speakers. Just hold up your phone and buy, hold up your phone, make a call. You can schedule a broadcast, you can have a two-way conversation. Imagine having this podcast but live in all of your, let's say, 1 million followers and million, listeners for Gene. And you'll be able to then, I could, as a customer or a listener, I could then say, hey, I have a quick question. And you can hold up your phone, scan, and all of a sudden you can actually respond to my question in front of 999,000 people. And now you could become the next Gordon Ramsay, the next Oprah Winfrey, but you're not having just a one-way conversation. You're having a two-way conversation with your audience anywhere. So we're actually talking with a music festival at the moment, who they're doing a EDM concert in Miami early next year. And they have about 10,000 people attending, ideally in person. And I was like, but you realize there are nearly 500 million speakers around the world. Why don't you actually create a way to broadcast all of your DJs and put a paywall in front of it? And so we're working on that capability as well.
Awesome. Wow, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah. There's one more thing. One more exciting thing. We just have a prototype around. It's just augmented reality. And so when we just saw some new prototypes come out, which is you could actually walk with. This is really exciting. Imagine you holding up your phone and being immersed in an art gallery of marketing campaigns. So you can walk around your room, see all of your posts that are about to go out, see all the posts that have already gone out in gray. And then if you don't like a category of posts or you want to edit that, just push it over and it deletes itself. Or you can just swipe over or tap on the art gallery of a post art, and then it'll automatically schedule it to Instagram for you. So that's the kind of future forward thinking that capabilities that we're bringing to small businesses.
Love it. That's fantastic. Awesome. And then last question I'd like to ask, I guess, before we wrap up is, what is your prediction for the future? Not necessarily, of course, you can talk about your specific things that you're working on or your industry, or it could be AI or self-driving cars or terraforming Mars. So what's top of mind for you?
So I think audio is going. I have a theory, and it's based on evolution. First of all, I believe in the scale of type 0, type 1, type 2 civilization and going forward, and that's based on energy creation and consumption. But I have a theory that says frames per second and waves per second now, which is basically saying the frames per second has increased very much exponentially from the days of Facebook to the days of Pinterest and Instagram, which is very image heavy, to the days of video reels on Instagram, to TikTok, which is all videos, to now Waves, which is all about not only just videos being uploaded, but actually having audio streaming like Twitter Spaces and Clubhouse. And you'll see at some point the two converging as hardware capabilities mature, as data plans become cheaper, data becomes cheaper overall. You'll start seeing the kinds of communication that we take for granted, being in person, you could do it with anyone around the world. Now, having said that, that's why we're investing so much into smart speakers, into audio, into augmented reality, is because we're mimicking, almost like biomimicry, we're mimicking real life interactions, nature. And so I think the world will continue moving in that direction, whether it's for e-commerce or conversations or whatnot. And then eventually, I think we'll get to Mars as well.
Yes, well, I think we'll get there sooner than later.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. And then do you want to talk about your crowdfunding campaign?
So keep an eye out for that. We're allowing, again, all of our customers to come back in, new customers to come in as well, and people in the public to invest. We can't disclose the terms of the offering until we actually launched due to the SEC rules, but it'll allow anyone to own a piece of the company and continue having an impact on how we help small businesses around the world. So keep an eye out. It's going to be on WeFunder. We're also going to put it on our website and all our social channels. But more importantly than not, tell us what we can do for your small business. What are some features we can add to our platform? What are some improvements we can make? Because those are the little details that really help us help millions, if not hundreds of millions of people around the world.
Right. The saying goes, help a billion people, make $1 billion, right?
Yeah.
Great. Well, thanks so much for being here. Last question is, how can our audience get in touch with you?
HelloWolfie.com. My email's on there. My phone number's on there. I'm very accessible through social, so hit me up everywhere. But like I said, if you have something that you'd like to add to our roadmap, if there's something, some way we can help you, let us know, and I'll give you a virtual hug. Thank you, Gene.
Oh, thank you so much. One of these days, it's going to be like we're going to be like hugs, but virtual, but it's going to be even more like realistic than just like a Zoom call, right? That's coming. That's
Totally.
the future. Awesome.
Totally.
Thanks so much, Arjun Rai. Thank you for being here, and good luck with your crowdfunding campaign.
Awesome. Thank you.